Welcome back to this live session on Thursday for the second session of the NY. And we had our first session today. So this is very important session is coming up NY, and we are looking at gold market, and also we will be looking at occasionally dollar yen, which is currently in a bullish trend. Pretty strong bullish market on dollar yen. Might be able to find also a trading opportunity here in that market. So we'll keep both on watch list, dollar yen and also gold here in this market. So beginning another trading day with a potential bigger trade setup here on this instrument. If you look at, so let's look at first of all bigger picture to see that where the market is heading here. Now looking at the monthly chart on gold that we can see. Now from the monthly we can see that gold currently in a bullish trend, right? So we see that there was a monthly bull market. So we'll be doing a full multiple time frame analysis, and then we'll be looking at the lower time frame. Now before I do the analysis, guys, can you hear me? Can you write yes or Y in the live chat or say something so do you know that the stream is well? And then we can begin the trade setup like we do every day in this live session. Ready for a trade setup? We first need to do the analysis. Welcome, Kevin. Here is the move that you can see on gold from the monthly chart, that the market is currently from the monthly perspective, which is heading back to the upside. And if we look at the bigger picture to see that where the market is heading, welcome. And always, guys, looking at the multiple time frame analysis will give you bigger picture to see that where in fact the overall market is heading to. So we are looking first of all at the monthly chart, and once we see the monthly price action is set here. Now from the monthly, this is a bull market that you can see in that area. Now in that bull market from the monthly, we can see this market is showing up to be bullish, that we can see from here, from this support level, which is an impulse back to the upside here in that market on the monthly from this support level. And with that monthly impulse that we can see on gold from this support level, the price has created an initial bounce back to the upside. If we look at the weekly chart in that market, that we can see from the weekly, the market is showing up to be bullish here, starting with this impulse back to the upside from this support level that you can see, which is a move back to the upside from this high. And we can see that there was a pullback in that market. So if we look at the Fibonacci from this low to the high, the price has crossed 38.2%, and then near to the 50% from this weekly 10 EMA, the price slowly bounced off that level. Now, because it's a long-term bull market, we are still looking at the bullish trade setup here in that market. So looking at the daily chart that you can see in this market. So looking at the daily chart where the market is heading back to the upside in that area. So if you look at from here, from this level, we can see that pretty strong drop followed by this pullback. And we can see another drop here. The market is now heading back to the upside here in that market. So with that being said, in this area here that you can see from this daily level that you are looking at on the daily time frame, the price from this daily price section where prices cross that high and then break below here with an inverted pin bar that you can see in this key support level on gold. And because the market dropped to that support level with this inverted pin bar here on gold, and if you look at the previous daily, we saw there was an initial bounce and later in the NY session the market dropped back below, and this is where you have opened quite a few trade on a row. If you guys looked at our trades in our previous session, was quite a few winning position that we have opened, and all of them. Now today the market opened in this area, that from that level we see there is a rejection back to the upside from this support level here on gold. And because the market has got rejected back above here from that level where there is a support, from this support there is a rejection back to the upside here in that market. So where what we can see here in this area, the market is maintaining this series of lower high, and with that series of lower high, sound break, I think sound, if you guys, can you find it difficult to hear? I hope the sound is okay. Thank you. And from this series of lower high here that you can see a big drop here, and with this pull back to the upside, and you can see another drop. Welcome. Now, okay, thank you very much for confirmation here. Okay, so with this move here, the market has dropped to that level, followed by this pull back to the upside, and you can see another drop. Now we see the market is slowly pushing back to the upside here in that market. So this is where the daily price action that you can see. Now, if we look at this daily price action, the market has crossed that low, which is stronger liquidity sweep here. And with today's price action that you can see from this support level form a bullish price action. Your volume is too low. Really? Pretty sure. Is volume low? I was expecting it to be okay, because in my side the mic volume and everything is going as per the indicator is okay. Volume okay, thank you for confirmation. Okay, cool. Probably in your device also you can check that. Thank you very much. Okay, so here is what we can see, that the market from this support level, or is loud and clear, thank you. So from this support level that we can see the market has made its move initially back to the upside, and with this movement that you can see the market has created this daily initial bounce here in that market. And with that movement that you can see here on the daily chart, as the market opened and created a bullish price action here in that area. So what we can expect here, that this market to potentially drop down and then to break above here to create a new higher high in that market. So where we can see the market could bounce off this level, and that is where we are looking at this market to create a new higher high. So we see that from the daily price action here from this support level, that the market is showing up to be bullish, as this is currently for the long term it's a bull market, but the price on this daily support level where there is a high area of value, and with that high area of value the market is maintaining this uptrending market structure here. And therefore if we look at the 4-hour chart, if we look at the lower time frame here, the market in that support level, this is where locally the market is maintaining this series of lower high. And because the market is maintaining this series of lower high here, from this support level, that expecting the price to go ahead and hit that upside here. So from the daily, this is the daily low here, which is the daily support level. And because this is where the market is still maintaining that series of lower high, any drop down to this intraday support, okay, so any drop down to this intraday support, the market to bounce off that level. And that is where you can see on the lower time frame, the market is breaking that low here, right? So we can see the market is breaking that low. So this is where there is an imbalance, there is a fair value gap. So as the market is coming in that area, there is a fair value gap. We can expect this market now to break above here, and from the daily support level, this is one, if you look at the 1 hour chart, one impulse now breaking below. So that current intraday support here that you can see, that intraday support is where expecting the market to respect that level. If you look at here, you can see from here the 15 minutes move, the price has created this 15 minutes move back to the upside, creating series of lower high and lower low, and which is a support level. All right, so which is a key level of support. And that's what we're looking at this market to break that low and then to give us a potential upside momentum back, ready for a bullish entry here. We see that locally downtrend and expecting it to break this swing low, which is a key support level. Once the market managed to break below from the intraday perspective, though we see there is a significant drop and there is an imbalance here, which is also the daily support level. Expecting it to break that low, either we will be looking for selling in that area, or we will be looking for that buying opportunity here in that market. So we are looking at entry from a key level. As the market trend is bullish, we will be looking at bull entry, that means bullish entry from a key level, or expecting it to break that high and then to drop back down here in that market. Welcome back to this live session here in that market. Thanks for joining here. I'd appreciate if you guys enjoying, then make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done yet, press the notification bell so that you're not missing any of the content that I'm posting every day. Welcome. Another trading day. I'm waiting for an entry. Are you guys ready to enter for another move in this market, which is a very important area of value, which is a very important support level that you are looking at this market for a potential entry here in that area, which is a very important support level that you can see the market at, and you want to see the price has broken that support before we look for that entry opportunity here in that market. Welcome. And here is the market is slowly building that momentum here, potentially back to the upside. And if the price managed to break to the upside here, as this is a trend line currently, and you could see that potential upside move in that market where the price is approaching that key support level. From there we could see the price to bounce off that level, and we might see the market to continue to rise back here to this key resistance line in this market. And we are looking at the lower time frame, the price action to show up that upside here. And as we can see, the market is approaching that key support level, expecting the market to potentially trend back to the upside here in that area. We see some reaction from the sub. Are you going for an entry? Let's see that if the market is creating an opportunity for us to go long here in that market where the price has dropped to that support. This is the 1 hour market structure that you can see, and as it has started a local uptrend, the possibility here for the market to retest the daily high is higher, and this is where you want to take that move potentially back to the upside in that area. And that's what we are looking at this market structure, to see that the price action to go up to create a new higher high. This is where we are looking at this market to create a new higher high. Before that, would like to see that deeper liquidity sweep here. Break of trend line is a very important indicator of that. If the market break from the trend line and reject back again, we can look for pending order above this area for this imbalance back to the upside. This is what we're looking to see the market to drop down here, and then we can place a pending order above 397677 level here in that market. We'll be looking at that entry for this move back to the upside. Welcome back to this live session. Now we see the market slowly creating a pattern here. They're expecting the market to break below in that area where there is a high area of value. And if we look at this level here above this area here where there is an important area of value, and that is where the imbalance here in that market. So this is where there is if you look at this imbalance, and what we can expect here, the market to, if the price break that high here, we can look for an upside bias back above here. We'll be placing a pending order shortly after for this move back to the upside here in that market. So now, as the market here initially has created a pretty stronger impulse, I am biased with the bullish side. As we see from the daily, this is a bull market, so we'll be placing a pending order here in that area for this upside in this market where there is a buy stop placed in that area where we can expect the market to break that high and then return back up to this key level of resistance from the daily. It's gonna be a buy stop. If the market goes up, we will be on the trade. As if you look at this is a trend line, and the market already has created a new higher high, has broken that key liquidity zone, and now it dropped to that support. So the bias here to the upside is higher, so we'll be using a buy stop order for this possible move back to the upside. So we are placing a buy stop on gold. So here in this trade, we have nearly to 92p stop loss. We place the 92p stop loss here, and this is where the market is still in a downtrend. If the market breaks from the structure here, that's where we are looking at that market to reverse. And I think the price, if it breaks below, it's slowly building that a potential momentum back to the upside. And you want to see the price has rejected back above again from this key support level. Awesome. We placed the pending order, and also I have shared the same trade alert in the premium group and expecting it to bounce off that level. And once the market managed to bounce off that level, if the price managed to break that high here, then we are on the trade with this potential move back to the upside to create a new higher high. So it's a buy stop order for a possible move back to the upside here in that market. I hope that guys you're enjoying the live session. Make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. How many years you are trading in the market? Oh, it's a long way, more than 10 years, and it's on and on, right? It's on and on. It's a journey. Being a trader means that you become dedicated to it. Guys, trading is not easy, but at the same time it's not hard. Anything you want to do in life, just make sure that you stick to it till the end. That's what you need to do, right? Once you stick to it till the end, it's gonna be super easy. Everything's created by human here, that you can see, except trees, mountain, ocean. The rest is created by human, right? This chart, computer, price action is human created. So you are also a human. You can understand, you can trade, and you can become consistently profitable trader as long as you don't quit as a trader and keep trading, keep learning, keep growing till the end, right? So that's why in this live session, we provide the best trading education. In the academy, we trade every single day, and I'm sharing every trade that I'm opening with live PNL, right? If you bring direct, we had a great feedback from our member, right? So if we look at, I have to just here, right? Now, looking at some of the feedback from our members, right? So this is an unbelievable performance in running week. So we have 3 days, just in 3 days, how many percentage that we have gained. You guys know that in the premium group, and we are on it, right? We are keep on it. Looking at the journal, if we look at, right? So every trade is being recorded, and there is a journal that we had maintaining that is showing up every trade. So it's a live journal, you guys can see that, and it's on. So if you look at this week so far, so week started from, we are still only 4th day, we started 27 this week, right? So if you look at how many pips here this week on our signal, we are at 325 pip. And if we look at this whole month, so previous week and this week, 1130 pip. If we look at the whole month here, that is for October, we are 1690 pip net, while in percentage was in our system, that the automated system that we have previous week 8% net, week before 11%, or this week 8%, and keep growing, keep going, right? it's the way we need to look at the market. That's how trading is, guys. It's easy. Just you need to make sure that you do the risk management, right? This is where the secret. Risk management is the secret. Make sure you do the lot sizing. All right. And if you don't have a risk manager tool, then ask the admin in the premium group. There is an admin address where you can access the admin detail and where you can ask for the premium risk manager tool. That I highly encourage you to use a risk manager tool when you're trading, so you're not over trading or you're not taking a trade which is not there. It's very important as a trader to look at, right? So, and if you look at this trade that you have placed with a very smaller risk, right? And the automated system that you have, every trade that I open, every strategy that I open currently fully automated to trade it by itself. Is 2025, guys. Now we are ending to the 2025. It's time to upgrade ourselves to the most updated system, right? 2026, 2027. And for the retail trader, it's gonna be a big year coming. If you are a trader still not being profitable, look at what we have displayed in the group, right? Every trade open according to our strategy, 5:1. You will never be a losing trader if you trade 5:1. You need an edge in the market, right? Every trade that we open, we display the actual P&L, right? Look at this P&L here. Look at this, right? This is what an actually traded using the EF. 15,000 net profit. Look at the losses. There is a red figure, there is blue figure. Look at those wins here, right? You don't need to win. Winning is not important. Important is here. You see the profit running. Look at this. This is what you need to look at. All right? You need to have a strategy that makes money, right? You need to have a strategy that makes money. Here, always look at here, right? Don't look at those red, blue figures. Always look at here. Always look at here. Don't ask for the win rate. Ask for percentage gain. That's the true trading. With 1% risk per trade. With 1% risk per trade. How much risk you take in a one trade? See those trades that you have opened. How many people stop loss here? And how many people profit target? See the profit here and see the stop loss here. That's how trading is. And it's fully automated. When you sleep, it's gonna trade, right? It's 2027. In Forex Trading Wizard Academy, we have been able to give our members this privilege to trade when they are at sleep. This is what we discuss in 2022, in 2021. How do I join premium? You can join premium group right now. It might be ending tonight. 95% off joining the premium group. It's almost free, right? It's nothing in comparison with what you're gonna get here. It's just for you, so that everyone not joining, we could give it completely for free. The problem is those who don't want to trade, they can use just for wasting time. That's why. So visit www.forextradingwizard.com. Below this video link, I'm sharing with you the link right now. Once you are on the website, click join now button, and once you click join now button, it will take you to the checkout page. Once you go to the checkout, just proceed to the checkout. Check your email for links for the premium Telegram as well as course link, where you will be daily seeing every trade I am opening with entry, stop loss and take profit target, and direct mentorship from me on one-on-one when you need it, right? So visit the website right now and then join, because this 95% is going to off very soon, right? It's gonna go to the original, because we have the best trading system that, in my opinion, that ever you'll find. You can see that these are real trade, then is verified by the members. It endorsed by the members, the real premium members who are trading with us for years of time. So let's do it, guys. This is what the real trading. Now we place another pending order waiting for an entry here. If you are trading either currency, gold, or anything, don't lose money. Make sure you learn the proper strategy and then progress with your trading journey, right? We can see the market is maintaining here that series of high, expecting it to break to the upside and then cross that high to create a new higher high in that market. Welcome. So we place the pending order here. Why is it a buy when the 4 hour is bearish? Will the buy be the 1 hour top wick and go around back? Okay, very good question. So first of all, the buy is because of the daily price action. Look at the daily chart here. After the previous daily inverted hammer, today's market showing bullish. Firstly. Secondly, if we look at the 4 hour here, we can see that from the 4 hour there was a break below here to this support, and see how the market structure form here. This middleman, this 4 hour has crossed 2 candles low. This is a bullish rejection back to the upside. Currently, after this 3-4 hour candle, the market has dropped to that support. The possibility here with this, the next move to be upside, as still can drop. And the reason we placed our pending order at this level is because if the market wants to drop further back below, we could see that drop back below. But if the market cross this high where we place our pending order, we can expect a bounce back to the upside. Firstly. Secondly, looking at the 15-minute chart, what do you see from here? Look at this move here like this. Look at one single impulse. We talk about the ATR in our premium Zoom class, also regular Zoom classes conducted to help you to learn what is the strategy, how to read the market, how to understand the bigger moves. Always keep in mind, guys, ATR is very important. Look at this move here in the 15 minutes. This is a bullish move, right? One single move. When the market is create this kind of impulse without any red candle in the middle and then drop back to that support again, bounce is high probability. So we are not trading a global trend. Globally, from the daily, it's a bull market, and also you can see there's a couple of days of downtrend. We are trading this local, that means the lower time frame trend. Look at this 15 minutes. What do you see here? It's a bullish market on the 15 minutes. Starting from here, an impulse correction, so the market on a, if you look at this is the impulse, and then triangular pattern, breakout, drop back, bound to this support level, expecting it to bounce back to the upside here in that market. So this is where there is a move here that you can see in this market. If you look at, this is where the possibility for upside here, because here is it's still, it is in a bullish trend in this market. So here in this area, the market slowly trying to build that momentum back above here, and we place the pending order for a possible upside move, and might get a trigger on the 1 minute chart. If we look at, this is the 1 hour candle closed with a red bear candle, and expecting it to bounce off that level. So the trade is active. The trade is active, and we are running. So I'm going to give a shout out as soon as I will be doing any modification with the trade. Boom, that's a FVG. So you are 24 pip up with this trade. Are you running this? Say yes if you are active as well. Should be active because it's a pending order. We all are in the same page. Expecting an upside bias. Awesome, getting rejection from the higher price, and I'm still holding on to that for possible bounce back. It's at entry. Come on. We're looking to see the market to give a new higher high. There's one single candle back above. Awesome. This is the 1 minute price action. Wanna see new higher high? Now it's a fully risk managed in case the market break below. It's a very tight stop loss, so you could even see potential break. If it breaks, then it will break. We'll be taking again with another move. But at the moment you see there's some impulse back to the upside, and we are on the trade for this potential new higher high. Again, run into the profit area, and guys with me. So you are on this trade and expecting to bounce off that level, potentially to create a new higher high. Welcome back to the live session here, traders. Hope that you're enjoying the live session. Make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done yet. Press the notification bell so you are not missing any of the content that I am posting every day. Expecting to break that high here, and that's what you're looking to see the market to potentially creating a new higher high. This is what we are looking for, this market to bounce off that level, and that is what we are looking at this price action to bounce back above to create a new higher high. We are up on this and would like to catch a new higher high where we are at 25 pip up at the moment, nearly to 25 pip, 26 pip. Would like to see the market to potentially cross that high and going back up to create a new higher high. So you can see the lower time frame price action here is showing up to be bullish, and this is the recent swing high which is at 3986 level. Expecting the market to trend and then back above here to the 3986 level, and once the market managed to break that high here, we can even take the partial profit or full profit depending on how the price action is creating in that area. It's still showing up to be bullish, is still expecting the market to trend back above here in this area. From the 4-hour chart that you can see, the price action is having some bias here. We are looking at that move in this market. If you look at the 4-hour price action, that is where there was a initial move that you can see. We need a new higher high here in that market, which is potentially to trend and then to revert back again to the upside here in that market, where the price action is showing up to be potentially to cross that high, to cross this high and then to create a new higher high. This is a doji. Price action not showing a very stronger bullish impulse here in that area. That so there is a breakup structure, and there is a rejection from this lower price here, and this is the 1 minute price action. Pretty long bearish rejection here, so expecting the market, there is a liquidity sweep in that area that you can see. So liquidity sweep, expecting the market to reject again back above. Or after this liquidity sweep, the market is having an upside bias, which is good news to see the market. We can try to break above and has reached our entry point, where as soon as the market creates a new higher high here, we'll be jumping on, taking profit partially, at least expecting to create a new higher high. If the market goes up and create a new higher high here in that area, so breaking that high will be 30 pip up. So far this liquidity sweep is essential to see the market manage to break above again in that direction for this move back to the upside here. Getting some reaction back above that, expecting the market to trend again in the major direction here. Come on, come on. Bounce off the level, we are in profit area. So we're gonna see that the price to the 5-minute chart, and cool. Expecting to create a new higher high, and if it breaks out, we'll see that sudden bounce. If it doesn't break out, we might see that dropping down here, and I'm still expecting it to have a breakout. That you can see it's a positive move, that upside here in that market. Awesome. So far so good, and wanting to see that having to break this 3981.76. If the market managed to break 3981.76, looking at the price to go back to 3986 level, which gonna be a new high, which will give us that to that level here, to nearly to 77 p stop move back to the upside here in that market. All right, so here is expecting it to bounce off that level, and boom, back up. Awesome. We are up nearly to 32 p. Right, we want to see that new higher high. As the market grabbed the liquidity here, we could see that the market to bounce off that level. New higher high, waiting for a new higher high, waiting for a new higher high, guys. And if the market reach that 3986 level, we'll be up to 77 p. I will be happy to take the TP in that move if the market cross that 3986 level. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are up to 76, nearly to 78 pip move back to the upside here in that market, and happy to see moving back up. All right, leveraging back to the upside here. I'm happy to take this 55 pip profit right now from this trade, and I'm closing it right now. I've closed it. I've closed it as the market reached that level, and 55 pip will be re-entering again as soon as you find again high probability setup. It's not the end, it's just starting the day, guys, so make sure you stay connected. Plus 55 pip. This is the fifth trade. Awesome. So the market is still showing up to be upside. We closed at 55 pip profit, and moving back here, and that is where the market is showing up. So the way, if you look at here, you can see the rejection. Now, in the beginning of this trade, let's now reflect on the trade. Reflection is very important, not only in trading but every aspect. If you want to develop a very healthy trading psychology, also reflection is very important. Weekend is a very good time for reflection. How many of you do the reflection on your trade, and also reflection on your trading psychology is essential to become a better trader, right? And trading psychology means that how have you gone through all the trade that you have opened throughout the week? Have you followed the strategies? Have you followed the risk management plan? Have you over traded? Have you FOMO traded? Or all the things that you need to reconsider if your performance is not well. Now, you might say, okay, what's the point of doing all of this hard work? Guys, from year 1, right, as a child, till year 12, and then go for another 4 to 6 years, 10 years for PhD or maybe bachelor, master's degree, just to make a living, right? Okay, so for those who have just joined, will receive an email with in just a few minutes. So if you have joined, wait for an email to join the premium group, and also the website address for accessing the education and everything. So you'll receive an email in few minutes for joining the premium group, and also for accessing the education on the website. Welcome back to this academy, traders. Thanks for joining here. Now you see that very shortly after, you'll be able to access everything that you have in the academy. Make sure you also check your junk folder when you join the academy. Awesome, we have taken the trade. Now it's on a pullback, right? We will be waiting for the market to restructure again, and then we can re-enter again as soon as we see the market has given that entry opportunity. Now it's forming a doji. We want to see the market to bounce off that level. Okay, it's carrying some rejection, which is good to see that. There's some rejection that you can see from this area, that the market is showing up to be potentially breaking that low. Now, that rejection that you can see, the market could bounce off that level, or you could see the price to create a new higher high in that market. So this is where we are looking at this market structure. As we can see, quite a few long wick candle. We might see now breaking below to fill that imbalance, or we could see bouncing off and then to create a new higher high. Okay, so here is where you can see quite a few long wick smaller rejects. The market may try to break that low here again now, and that is what we want to see the price to potentially either to break below or go ahead again to the upside here to create a new higher high. And so a couple of narrow candlestick pattern that you can see in that market. And this is where also there is a trend line that the market has formed on the lower time frame, and the price may respect the trend line or could break to the upside again to create a new higher high here. So breaking from that trend line, the market may try to cross this low. Let's see how the price action is doing here. It might come back for a deeper drop that we might see, and for us to re-enter, you want to see the market may break this support level again. So you can see some rejection coming from this high here in that market. So this is a break. So we are out with the trade with the running profit. We might see some break up trend line here in that market. Now with this break up trend line, the price may now break this some imbalance. Let's refresh the market, looking at from a very fresh perspective, from a completely beginner mindset that I say always, that the market to look at when you see the price has broken out of the structure. It might be a breakup trend line, or it might be the way the market has formed. But I think there is a potential for a deeper pullback here. And if you look at the daily, we can see that from the daily perspective, this is the daily price action, where from this support level there is a bounce, and we could see the market continue to trend back to the upside here. From the intraday perspective also, you could see the market to break above here in that market. So from the 1 hour perspective here, that you can see in this market, the price to potentially bounce off this level where there is a high area of value. Now looking at the 15-minute chart, that you can see in this lower time frame where there is a high area of value, expecting this market to trend. And if you look at this trend line, which is very important support level, and from this trend line, breaking below here can give us another entry opportunity in this market, which is a very important support level that you can see the market at the moment. And we are looking at this price action to bounce off that level, then to create a new higher high here. So breaking below can give us an entry, and that's what I'm looking at, guys, for the market to break low, break below, and then to trend back again upside here in that market. Now breaking below can give us an absolutely an important price action that you can see here in that market. So if you look at this move, that one single 5 minutes move, one single drop back to this support, and if it creates a new lower low with a single drop, which is important to see that the market is breaking below here with a single drop, that is where we are looking at this market to awesome. Now here what you can see, guys, that this is the drop that want to see that it's breaking again from the trend line, and once it breaks from the trend line here, we are looking at another potential entry after price action confirmation. Now from the 4-hour chart, that you can see, once this sessions candle open from this 20 MA, the price has dropped back below. Now there is an imbalance here. Though it is a bull market, the market has an imbalance. As the price moves from imbalance to the imbalance, what we can expect here now to fill that imbalance and then potentially to bounce off that level or break that low. You still can expect two directional. This is also another important, very important trading psychology that you need to look at, guys. If you are trading, then this is very important. You know, as a human being, the brain is always designed to think one way. All right, you see that we're very good at counting 1 2 3 4 5 6, right, in the direction, moving, walking forward, looking forward. Have you ever looked backward, walk backward, count backward, right? So the brain is mostly thinking in one direction. That's why we suddenly conclude that the market will drop and start to sell. But always look at both direction, possibility in both direction. The market can drop and can go up at the same time. And then from there, look at completely objective with the bigger picture. That's how you can see, you can keep your weight that the market will go in both directions 50% of the time, right? And then give a little more weight to one direction based on other confluences, right? That's where, based on trend, based on price action, ATR, right, support and resistance, and then you get to the higher probability. Trade based on risk management. You will never be a losing trader. All right, so here is the market now testing that support, trying to break above here in that area, which is a very important support level. And that is where the price action is potentially showing up, crossing that high. And there is an imbalance here. Possibility here to break that high is higher. If this support was little lower here, I could go long again. Still, there is a possibility to go up, but we want to look for the high probability setup again for this bounce. It's just Thursday. We still have a big day to coming. If we look at the Forex factory calendar, let's see that how the market structure is creating, how later there is coming up in around 40 minutes time, euro and 12:15, 12:45, so basically euro news is coming. So that's definitely should have some move on other instrument as well. If you look at the dollar yen, which is showing that significantly bullish, or does the euro getting weaker with the strengthening of DXY. So if you look at here, DXY getting some upside here. What is the reason? You know that? Can you guess? What's the reason for DXY to get optimistic? The buyer of dollar index that might make gold to be little downside. Do you know the reason for DXY to bounce off that level? Now you can see the DXY now bullish. If you look at the daily chart, DXY getting that upside from this level. The fundamental reason for DXY to move up. Now, if that is the case, gold might show bearish move because gold mostly trade against dollar, as you can see. That means always if DXY is bouncing off the level, let's say USD. Okay, so if you look at gold spot versus US dollar, right? So this is where we are trading against dollar. So if dollar is going up, downside is going up, dollar, gold to come down for a deeper pullback. Now the question is why this DXY is going up and how far we can expect it to move up here, right? And you can expect a move up even further. Do you have an idea? I mean, a sell trade or 3964 on gold. Yeah, so gold might range or might drop. The imbalance here, okay, so you see that the price didn't break that high, so the imbalance here now back below. Therefore the support may break here on the lower time frame. We will be looking to enter again as soon as we find it. But in the meantime, let's look at the DXY, guys. Why DXY is going up? This is a very important, and that's how we can redirect our trading setup in our next move, right? Let's understand the fundamental. If you look at the fundamental, then it is where you need to look at. That will give you more of understanding about how the market is going. So now if you look at here, the DXY that you can see, okay, this is DXY move. If you look at the higher time frame, that is the weekly chart on DXY, the market is in a, if you look at the low here, you can see there is a long week rejection, right? There's a possibility for some upside here. Now, what's the fundamental reason? Let's look at, first of all, that this is the fundamental reason, right? Look at the news here. Trump meeting with Chinese president. It was amazing, outstanding. Okay, so the tariff deal has boosted the DXY. Now, you don't have to always analyze the microeconomics and macroeconomic. Let me tell you a very straightforward rules to understand how those fundamentals impact the dollar. Okay, anyone can, that's why a famous scientist said that if you cannot explain something to 5-year-old kid, then you don't understand it. There's nothing in this world. Richard Feynman, he's also a Nobel Prize winning physicist. He said the same thing, that you need to be able to explain something to a 5-year-old kid. Even your trading strategy, if you cannot explain to a non-trader 5-year-old kid, then you don't understand. It's not a right strategy. You see, you can explain a strategy to 5-year-old kid and then need to understand it. Then that's the strategy. That's the best strategy, right? Same way, the fundamental, you don't have to be expert on microeconomics. You don't have to be expert on macroeconomics. You need to be able to understand the foundation. So let's look at, keep in mind, any crisis will bring dollar down mostly and will push the gold up. That means a deal is not being signed, or there is a conflict, war, a tension, trade war, any kind of tension where there is a conflict, not deal is not going ahead, that will bring gold up, dollar down. And it can also apply with the economic downturn. Slowdown in economy will push dollar down, will bring gold up. Interest rate cut will bring dollar down because there will be inflation and will push gold up, vice versa. So if you look at the news, what do you see? Good news about the deal, right? And that is boosting dollar up, and that is pushing potentially dollar down. Can you explain it to 5-year-old kid? Absolutely, right? Simplest way to know that. You see that how we trade, that every trade you open from the breakout structure, clean trend, anyone can understand, right? A clean trend. Look at the trend here. Wait for a breakup structure, break that swing low with a bigger ATR, rejection, buy. Anyone can understand. There are more details such as 10 MA, 20 MA, which is an advanced, but the foundation is this. BUS, breakup structure. Look for the trend, look for ATR, and then buy, right? That's what we are doing every single day. Biggest trade. Keep always lower risk, bigger reward, and that will give you everything that you need to trade the market. Now, that being said, looking at gold again on the lower time frame, as with the intraday time frame, we can see there is a rejection back below. Now, the market here on the lower time frame, we can't say that it's gonna directly drop with the appreciation of DXY. Rather, we could see the market potentially move little slowly or little sideways, because sometime you'll see that the market is boom having an uptrend on DXY. You'll see that also the gold sometime moving almost in the similar direction. All right, so here is what you can see. The market is trying to break up, right? Which is going back to the upside here in that market. All right, so now the market slowly in a pullback that you can see in that area, right? So if you look at the lower time frame here, this is where the market is on a lower time frame. A little slower movement. Okay, so here is what you can see, the lower time frame price action. In this area, this is a slower movement, sideways market. and in that sideway market there is the triangular pattern here formation, and that could break below here as the market has an imbalance in that area, and then to bounce we might see that range on gold. And if you look at the daily price action again here, now this market on the daily, it is less likely that today's market straight will drop down. It might form a narrower long week candle as on Thursday, and then coming up Friday if you look at the weekly here. So if the daily price action not being able to break the previous daily high, that means remaining like that, there is a possibility for another drop or sideways market. If you look at the daily price action so far, we have completed 2 sessions, and in that area, that what you can see on the daily, the market is not that much of strongly bull. If you look at that, the bulls are not being able to strongly break that the high. In comparison with the bear that you can see, there was a bigger red candles. The market is not being able to create a stronger impulse back to the upside. That means that the sellers still stronger in the market rather than the buyers. So that means if you look at the intraday perspective here, the price action could remain downside here in that area. So that being said, lower time frame, if you look at the 1 hour chart, this is 1 hour, the price has crossed that high, grabbed the liquidity and rejected back below here. So therefore the potential for the market to drop down here to break that low to create a new lower low in that area. So the possibility here that the market to drop down back below, this is where there is a potential for filling that zone here, filling that imbalance in this market. There's quite a few long week dojis being formed. We might see even a head and shoulder formation here in that area. Therefore, the possibility for the market to trend back down here to this support level is higher in that area. So looking at the 15-minute chart, we could see the market to break that low, potentially continue to drop back here. All right, so I'm looking at further entry. We can see the price action here that to potentially showing up to putting pressure on the support level. And because it's showing up putting pressure on the support level, and also there is, if you look at here in that area, you can see there is a series of lower high and then had a rejection. Thank you very much. And this is where, if you look at, you can see series of lower high here, and as there is no stronger bullish impulse showing up in the market, breaking this trend line could bring the price well below to this order block here, to this support level. And the market left significant imbalance in that area. So with this long week, this is the current resistance if you look at the 30 minutes and the 15-minute chart, right? And that high here that you can see, which is higher liquidity zone, and in that higher liquidity zone, that there is expecting the market to break low here, potentially continue to drop back below in that support level, and that's where the market could continue to drop back in this area, or even breaking that low, potentially to create a new lower low. All right, so now as we are looking at the gold, and also as we discussed the DXY, how does that also on dollar yen? You can see dollar yen has shown us there was a very stronger inverted head and shoulder, strong breakout from that inverted head and shoulder from the 4-hour liquidity sweep with this doji 10 and 20 MA crossed over. So it was in a bullish trend, and we saw the breakout structure, very nice organized inverted head and shoulder breakout. So dollar yen approaching the nearest key level is here. So as the market has refreshed to bounce back to the upside on dollar yen, 1 hour big move. So with dollar yen price action, we had in the past few trades on dollar yen, looking forward to see the market give us potential another entry on dollar yen from any of these key support level, and then to continue to trend back here to the upside in this market. So that might be an upside move on dollar yen, and could bounce off that level here, and that is where you can see dollar yen is in a bullish trend. So I'm keeping dollar yen also on list, because with the weakness on yen is inherently weaker, as you know that always, and due to their policy, so yen is always weaker so far, since from very long time. And dollar is, when dollar getting stronger, we might see that bullish trend, stronger bullish trend of dollar yen. We will be looking to enter in that market as soon as we find that opportunity here. So this is an analysis that on dollar yen, it's a bull market, but we will be waiting for a breakout structure as we trade based on the breakout structure. While on Xauusd, now the market is maintaining that series of lower high here with multiple liquidity sweep, the price action showing up to be downside here, creating series of lower high. So the possibility here for gold to break this trend line is higher. So you are looking at 1 minute and the higher time frame that you can see there is a break of support. So you can see the market has broken this support here and with a big head and shoulder formation. Now that drop, how far it is going, we need to look at to see for an entry opportunity here. Finally, from the 4-hour chart, the price is approaching that low. So this candle, as we have one more hour for this price to close, from the 1-hour chart, it's a big bear candle with a liquidity sweep here. So if you look at here, there is a liquidity grab. Now if this market breaks below, there is a void here, right? So we are looking to sell with a pending order. First let it retest that high. Okay, we'll be placing a pending order here for this possible drop down below this level here. It will be a sell stop loss above this high, and we'll be keeping TP target a little higher. So it's a sell stop at 3959.75. Let's sell stop at that level. So place sell stop here on gold for this potential drop down. So place sell stop below this support level. If the market breaks below here, we will be looking to see some breakdown here in that market. Now looking at the 1 hour price action from this support level, you see there is a bounce, and that might bring the price little higher. And if the price is going up here, we are not going long because it's on a key support level. There is a liquidity sweep here, so it might pushing back up could be sign of further drop again. Let's make a structure here. So we place the sell stop at 3959.75. If the market managed to break that low here, we will be entering in the trade. In that case, you can expect it to break further below. Yes, it's a pending order. It's a sell stop. So it's not buy market. It's a sell stop pending order. So you see there is a multiple liquidity sweep here. There is a long week rejection, right? So this is a kind of area where we might see the market to return back below for another drop, as there is a high area of value here. And okay, so they're kind of, we see the price action is showing up to be here after this upside, getting some rejection from this higher price. So that is where the market may show some kind of movement back to this support to see how the market is doing. If you look at the 5-minute chart with a bigger move, what I think the price may eventually could drop down back here, and that's why our entry in that area for a potential drop down here in that market. And with a multiple rejection from the higher price, we might see the market, because the price left imbalance in that area. Or so trend continuation that you can see here in that market. If you look at that, you can see the price action is here is the market structure showing up. Here is there's a couple of areas that you can see the market has created. So until you see the break below that, you want to see how the market is doing. (15 minutes) candle closing, and with a pretty long rejection from this higher price. Now this is 1-minute price action. It's kind of creating an inverted head and shoulder bounce, but I think there is a possible for another break below, as we see there is a 15 minutes candle closing here, and that 15 minutes candle, this one is rejecting from this higher price. The next candle could still come back below. If it come back below, we are on the trade. This is what we are looking at for a potential rejection of this higher price. And if it managed to break that low here, we might see that continuation down, or we could see that continuation back above. If it is not being able to break that, if it is breaking that high, we might see upside. If it is breaking that low, we might see downside. Now the 15 minutes candle close is essential to look at, because it is closing on a very important level of resistance, where very interesting price action pattern formation here. So 15 minutes candle close with a pretty a big red candle, rejection green candle. Are you going to see another break below here? If we see that, we are on the trade, and we want to see that it's breaking that low here, which is still a possibility to see the market to reject with a head and shoulder again here in that area, and then to trend down back below here. Waiting for a potential because suddenly the volume dropped, so it's another important point. Always look at suddenly the market volume drop. So when the volume drops, it's gonna mostly will move in a narrow range. That means 1 candle, 2 candle range, which is a narrow sideways movement. And when the market does that, when the volume drops, it is where waiting for a breakout or breakdown. And you see, this is 1 candle range, so one going up, coming down, very narrow volume. Each 1 minute candle is moving to 10 to 12 pip. Because the market trend only, if you look at the trend, the market trend only 30% of the time. I would say that even 20% of the time. 70 to 80% of the time, the market range. And that range is where you have to be patient as a trader. Okay, so once you are patient during the range, you can take the move after the range from the breakout. Okay, we see some break below here, and if it is breaking below here, crossing that low, we are on the trade. Patience is key. We're not changing any directional bias here. It's waiting for the market to break below from that trend. Okay, so you see there is a break, and is this forming a head and shoulder? That's the question. If it is forming a head and shoulder, we might see the market to potentially to trend down here, back below to this support level. And it is absolutely possible that the market to absolutely break completely below back to this low. If it does, then we might see that dropping down to create a new lower low. Now weak fill is very important. 5-minute chart is potentially trying to fill that long wick here in that area, and there's a 1 minute. If you look at this, is a long rejection doji that might bring the price back below here. We see the head and shoulder with a liquidity sweep possibility for downside here, and our pending order a little lower, because if the market breaks that low here, we could see significant break below in this market. Still holding on to that area to see how the market is creating the structure. Now this is where the quite a few long week candle, and really very, sometimes the market will create a price action that might not follow the grammar, but that's what, when the market creates that, that is a sign of potentially bigger move. If you look at here, you can see this is another after crossing that high has got another bearish rejection in that area. So very stronger, again potentially rejection here. This market may break below. Now that's the way the market structure is forming, and the pending order is still there. We could look to sell by market from here. The market might drop faster because of the imbalance here, so you don't want to chase that move. You want to wait for the pending order to come down and hit that trigger. If the market cross that low, there might be fast move back below here. If you look at the 5 minutes, you can see it created another bearish candlestick pattern here in that area. So once the market managed to break below here, we will be on the trade. But at the moment, there is quite a few. So this is really weird. Price action is creating. You can see that getting multiple liquidity grab from the top, right? So there is another long week rejection from the higher price here. So the 1 minute, again another liquidity sweep, pretty big bear candle, and so with a long week 1 minute rejection here, that you can see there's another long week candle back to back two, and moving towards the downtrend. full body candle close on the lower time frame for this bearish move, and the market is sliding back below. Okay, the market structure showing up to be here, potentially still downside, so we still can expect it to break that low unless we see stronger liquidity grab from the top. At the moment, so far, showing up the market to potentially trend back down to see how price action is creating the structure in this area. There's another wave of liquidity grab. Another wave of liquidity grab here in that area. So it didn't break that low. Instead, what we can see, it has managed to break that high here. So let's delete the pending order because the market didn't break that low. Instead, it's creating an inverted head and shoulder. We are going out with the pending order. All trade may not trigger. That's completely fine. We are looking for further entry. So we are you see there is a liquidity trigger here from this trend line. The market may, the way it is forming now structure, it might be preparing for that drop that we are talking about. But what we have seen that from the 1 hour from the support level, there is another rejection. So this is the 5 minutes big long doji formation, and that the market structure creates like that when there is possibility for bigger move. 1 hour chart that you can see the price has tested that high and now tested the low. This doji on the 5 minutes could be potentially to break downside, isn't it? There is a liquidity sweep here again. So there is a preparation for a possible drop back below here in that market. So 1 minute chart that you can see, this is a fake out in that market. We see there is a multiple liquidity gap in that area if you look at the from the top. So the market structure here is still bearish. Okay, so we close the pending order because we want to see that the 1 hour price action and the higher time frame price action is in fact breaking that low here. The possibility to drop down is higher, but you can see this is the 15 minutes doji and the 5 minutes doji that you can see the market trying to bounce off and feel that some of this imbalance here in that market. Doesn't look to me very strongly bullish price action, rather it is creating long wick here, right? The possibility here that after multiple long wick rejection we might see that this market to eventually break in that direction. So you see that whenever the price is going up, long wick, right? And also there's a long wick here, there's long wick here, getting also here rejection. So the possibility here that the market to ultimately break below. So the trend is, bias is very important to look at here in this market to be downside. With this 5 minutes candle close that you can see, after this 5 minutes doji, you can see back to back 2 dojis here, narrower. So my bias is here downside, and looking at the 1 minute chart also the market is creating that downtrend. Back to back 2 dojis. So quite a few long wick candlestick pattern, the bias down, and patience is key for the market to see that it's coming down. So you can see here is liquidity sweep, the price drop down back below, and again or the downside, and with a multiple liquidity, this is the 15 minutes price action. We'll be opening sell position in that area by market, stop loss above this high. It's gonna be little bigger stop loss with tight stop loss, tight risk management, targeting to this support. There is an imbalance for this drop back below here in that market with a tight risk, and tight means that very tight, guys. If you are not doing the risk management, you shouldn't open the position. We do proper risk management here. Stop loss at 3978. We might open, we might close very fast depending on how the market is doing, as there is a potentially bearish price action expecting the market to drop down back below. This is a very interesting price action pattern here on gold, and it's grabbing liquidity from the top. Now looking at the 15 minutes candlestick pattern, so the trade is based on the 15 minutes candle. Now this is 15 minutes candle that has multiple liquidity grab. This is closing in few seconds, and this 15 minutes candle, if it is closing as a doji, that expecting this market to break below. So trading is always about probability, expecting it to break below here, but the market can do anything. Before the 15 minutes candle close, again there is a rejection which was not expected, but we can see the market is trying to break that high again, and unlucky move. Still on it. Very volatile move in the market. So we are out with the trade. It's sometime the market. This is what I think the final liquidity sweep. That means there is from the before the 1 hour candle close, the price again has come back there for another retest. So there is another long week candle here in that area. So this is a if we look at, it has crossed from this support level to the upside here, and I think we might find another entry. Let's look at that area, how the market is creating the structure. One hour, 1 minute bearish engulfer. I will be re-entering here again for another move back below. We will be holding for bigger profit target. Here 66 pips stop loss. There is a still possibility for this market to continue to drop down back below. We will be targeting here 3 to 1 for a potential rejection. This breakout is unusual, that we can see it's potentially a liquidity sweep here in that area, expecting this market to drop down back below to this support level here in that area. So I'm short again on gold. I have already, there's another trade, so expecting that this market to continue to drop. Another sell trade on at stop loss at 3982. With tight stop loss, of course. No trade without stop loss. So we can see there is the unusual move back above here, and that is where I'm looking at the market to potentially return back below to the support level. So we are sell again, I'm short again by market, stop loss here, and if we are correct here, then we will be able to take a big one here downside. If If you are not correct, then we will be again exiting with 1% down here. So looking at the 5-minute chart, there might be weak fill. That's very Sunday might not be on your side, so that might the market behaving very unusually. So we see there is a rejection again back here in that area, and so that is where the price is hitting back above. So we have to wait for further confirmation here in that market to see how the price action is doing. This is a very unusual move. The market may still started to return back again from this high. Okay, so observing the price action, as there is a, if you look at the daily, there's a very unusual move that you can see in the market due to the fundamental 4-hour candle closing with a long rejection here. Now the market might go little in a sideway. You can see it's a consolidation here. So when the market in a consolidation, you're looking at the price action to show up its hand, and until we see the market has rearranged its structure, we'll be looking for further confirmation. Once we see the price action showing up, we will be entering in the trade. That being said, guys, we'll be waiting for potentially, even if we see that there is a trend change that could happen. Before the trend change, normally the market create this kind of structure. If the market is changing the trend here, we might see the price to continue to rise back here again. So until that, stay well, stay happy. We'll see you there again very soon, trading live together for another move that coming on Friday. Tomorrow, a big trading day according to calendar. You can see the price tomorrow. We'll see CAD news coming, and that will also have some impact on gold and dollar, and also the monthly close, so which is the biggest move happen during the monthly close. That is why we'll see you guys again trading in that market. Can you look for Euro USD? Will be Euro dollar, as you can see with the move on DXY. DXY had a significant move earlier and now on a pullback. So Euro dollar is moving in the just opposite direction of DXY, mirroring it. If you look at the daily, you can see the market from this support level heading back to the upside. So that being said, thanks for joining here, and I'll see you again, guys, with another live with new trade update. Thank you for joining. We'll see you again very soon. Until that, stay